Hi guys! So this is my video about The Invisible Library by Genevieve Cogman. And you can hear that my mic works, so yay! So I read this book a few weeks ago now. I've been on this big, huge reading kick, and I feel like every book I pick up I'm in love with, and that's really weird because usually I don't love that many books. I mean, I'll enjoy them, but like I'm reading them, I'm just like, wow, this was so good. But this one definitely is probably my favorite of the summer. It's about an invisible library, but it's more complicated than that. This woman named Irene works for this library that, like, no one knows where it is. It's kind of like in between dimensions. And so she is basically a library spy who goes to these different dimensions to collect books. And so she comes across all these troubles. It's just to, like, find specific books. And it's really it's really good. I can't even, like, explain how much I love this book. I found the whole premise I thought it was going to be a little cheesy. Kind of like the Librarian show that's on TNT, and that's based off the library movies. Like, I thought it was going to be a little cheesy, super fun. No. I mean, like, it was lots of fun, but it wasn't super cheesy. There was a lot of really interesting, complex world building. And the characters were just so well developed and not like they were like people you want to be friends with, which I always love when books are like that, because so often people are like writing characters that, you know, are like specifically supposed to be unlikable, which are interesting characters to read about and all, but there's something about reading a book where you're just like, oh, I want to be your friend, you know? And that was these books. Like, I want to be in with this crowd, even though they're all older than me. I'm not sure how much older. They didn't really specify that. There's also dragons! No, I mean, like, there's dragons on the cover, like, right here. But no one told me there were going to be dragons, so, like, when that happened, I was just, like, thrilled. I was like, dragons! Been waiting for, you know, a good book about dragons, but I don't want to, like, you know, yeah, I was done finding books about dragons because all the books I found about dragons were just terrible letdowns for the past few years. Not like when I was a kid, because kid dragon books are, like, super good. But, like, young adult and adult dragon books just kind of suck, apparently. I don't know. Just in my experience. And mystery, lots of mystery. The plot, there was so much going on, like, you had to pay attention. Because so often I, like, read these books and I, like, skim half the parts because I'm like, oh, I don't care what happens in, like, this specific part. Oh, they're just, like, describing how this thing looks for, you know, world building. I'm just like, whatever, I don't care. Not the best way to read a book. And so let's see. So Irene, I loved. Totally figured out who she was named after, like, in chapter 1. And Kai was so sweet. Like, such a Hufflepuff. And we need more Hufflepuff characters. Just, I mean, like, it's not Harry Potter. But he is a Hufflepuff, if you understand what I mean. And the other characters who were in here were also lovely, but Irene and Kai were the main characters and also still my favorites. Another thing I liked is there was some stuff that you could predict, but other stuff that you're just like, when did that happen? When was that foreshadowed? Which, you know, it had a little bit of comfort from, like, the predictability, but also, like, some shock value, and you weren't just bored, 'cause you're like, I know exactly what's going to happen. You're like, okay, I'm not sure exactly what's happening, but I know what has happened. And that was lovely. Also, look how pretty the cover is. Look how pretty it is. It's super pretty. I want to get the rest. I'm thinking about buying them all as ebooks first and then getting the hard copies. But I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Yeah. The only reason I haven't read them all already is because I have a huge pile of books sitting next to me that I need to read, including Unrooted, Spindlefire, and Rose Daughter, which I really want to read. I'm not gonna, yeah. But I'm not gonna, skip ahead. I've already bought, 3 books, in the middle of the night. And then just stayed up until, so, I buy them around midnight, and then I stay up until, 3 or 4 in the morning finishing them. And, it's not a healthy habit of mine at all. It's a terrible habit. I was super worried we were gonna get, needless, random sex scenes in here. Because, on the back, you've got sexy on the back, which generally means that there's a sex scene, but there wasn't. Thank you. I'm assuming one's gonna come up later in the series. But, whatever. Also, no romance. But again, I'm pretty sure that that's, coming in the future. I was also worried because N.K. Jemisin is the one who reviewed it, and I like her books, but there was definitely a lot of uncomfortable sex scenes in there. Not even a lot, just, weirdly placed ones. Just because that's just really not my cup of tea. And so I was, worried that this one was going to become that, because I, liked the beginning so much. And so I was worried that was going to happen about halfway through. It didn't. I was so happy. Let's see, what else? Oh, it made me want to read the Thursday Next series by Jesper Ford or whatever. The guy who was F-F-O-R-D is his last, D-E is his last name. And my mom told me about it, and basically she corrects what's going to happen in books next. They sound really fun. So it made me want to read that series. Okay, but they're nothing that that's not what she does in this series. She's collecting books. Yeah. I don't know. This book is so good. I don't want to say any spoilers because I really want people to read it. Maybe I'll do a spoiler review later. I don't know. I don't really have. I want to do more of these, but I don't know if I have a lot of time. More of these videos. So elaborate. So eloquent. And it's just, I don't know. If you haven't read this book, you should go read it. I think it might be close to my true love. I just want to reread it over and over again, but I also want to read new books. The struggle that, all book lovers have. Should I reread a book or should I read a new one? Rereading books, you know you're going to like it because you liked it the first time, and you might not like it as much or in a different way, but you're going to like it, and then a new book, you're like, what if I don't like this book? And that's, super valid because, you can pick up a book and be like, oh, I just know this book's not going to be any good. Okay, I think that's it for now, but go read this book. Go read it. Read it. Go read it.